you can still go through an immense amount of pain and come out on the other side and still choose to love yourself. And here's how.
What's up, everyone? I hope you're having a great week. And I'm really, really looking forward to this adorable guest that I have today. I had her on the show like a little over, maybe it was like a year and a half ago. And she is still one of the most candid and kind people that we've ever had on the show. She's a very successful country music artist who wrote one of the best and most honest songs of the last couple years. It was called The Story. She's an incredible actress who you've probably seen in One Tree Hill and Friday Night Lights. And she's the host of a great podcast called Wind Down. And most importantly, she's the author of this brand new book called The Next Chapter. I am so happy to have Jana Kramer here with us today. Hi, honey. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I just love you so much.
I feel the same. We just have that. Like, I wish you lived nearby. I feel like we would do like lunch and dinner all the time.
1000%. We would be like wine, lunch, dinner, girlfriends, mom friends. Like, it's just either certain mom friends that you connect with and go, okay, like I could hang out with them. And I've always thought of you as that person.
Yes, same. Like, when you go to school and you're at the pickup line or waiting and you're just like, yeah, she'd be my friend. Me and you, we'd be hitting it off. We'd be hitting it off.
For sure. And that's hard to find because I feel like mom friends, they already have their group and their clique. So we were just talking about that last night. Like, it's hard to get in on someone's like, mom friend group. So
yeah, that is so Franklin Lakes, by the way, where I live. It's very like mom cliquey and like their groups are set and they have their certain people. They even name themselves. Like, groups are called different things. Is it like that in Nashville?
Well, I mean, I'm laughing because I have a group that we call ourselves the Queendom, but like we're just best friends. But there are, I mean, it's definitely a thing, especially if you've grown up with the kids too. But I'm just always try to be nice to everyone and let's all like hang out. But yeah.
Oh, for sure. See, it goes on everywhere. You guys named yourselves as well. See, I knew this. I knew this. I apologize in advance for my hoarse voice. It sounds like I just woke up, but I'm obviously filming the show right now. And I threw a huge party last night for my boutique for Envy. And we had a big like fashion show and I just keep going and going and going and my voice will not come back. Like, no matter, it's been months. So I feel like my listeners are getting used to it by now and they're just like, right, whatever, Melissa, you're never going to have your voice back. But
who are we fighting with? Is that why the voice is gone? Like, who are we screaming at? I need to know. Who do we not like right now? I can be on the same page.
I mean, now how much time do you have? No, but no, in all seriousness, it's not me really yelling at anyone at all. It's just a lot of movement, a lot of talking. I am overworked and underpaid. So that's just what's going on these days. I'm just exhausted. So I think like I need to rest my voice for a good week and it's just not going to happen. It's never going to happen anytime soon. So that's that. But enough about me. How are you? How are those beautiful kids? What's going on over there in that house? How's life?
The kids are great. Jolie it's interesting. Now she's in second grade and something switched this year where she's a little sassier and she's, kind of like, Mom, like, I'm just like, wait a minute. Like, I'm your girl. Like, you're my girl. Like, she's just, I don't know. She's very spicy right now. And then my son, Jace, is doing great. He's still in preschool. He starts kindergarten next year and then just growing a baby. So
I know. Yeah. Congratulations. How far along are you?
So I have 6, I don't know when this airs, but I have 6 weeks left today, like filming wise. So.
Oh my God. So you're like getting ready to go. Are you uncomfortable? How is this pregnancy? Is it like different from the others?
It's different in a lot of ways where like, I know this is my last one. I did not think I was going to get pregnant again at all. Even, post dating, I would be like, oh no, I'm done. I don't want kids or whatever, any more kids. But then I met my fiance and I was just like, well, maybe. And I'd love to create something together, but I didn't know because I'm going to be 40 and I've had multiple miscarriages. So I just didn't know if it would even work. And, uh, I fought for my two pregnancies with my last two. And this time around, it was the first month was on no IVF medicine, which I had
Wow.
to be on with the last ones. And so it's insane how it all has like worked out. And, uh, I think it has a lot to do with I wasn't stressed this go around, So I think your body kind of, for me at least, I think that was a huge impact. But it's been great. I mean, my fiance is the most caring, loving, just so supportive. And that feels different, obviously, this go around. And just to have the kids really excited and then knowing it's my last time, that feels exciting. And also just I'm kind of cherishing these last 6 months going, all right, I was 6 weeks, like, okay, I'm not going to feel these kicks anymore. And, this is the last time my body will be going through this. So
Are you like a happy pregnant person, or are you one of those who like loves to be pregnant?
I personally do not like being pregnant just because I'm still nauseous. I was nauseous with my first two. I still get nauseous now. In the mornings and night, it's just ugh, like I can't I can't eat a lot of stuff. It just makes me sick. So I'm not I envy the women that are like, I love being pregnant. I'm just like, oh, that must be nice. But it's a miracle what our bodies can do. And
Yeah, I was never one who loved to be pregnant. It never like was amazing for me. I never was like, "Oh my God, this is wonderful." And like I was just like, I'm gonna throw up. How long until I get this child out of my
Mhm.
body? That was literally all I used to say. I was like, am I the only girl who does not enjoy this? Like there's zero enjoyment for me with being pregnant. And I used to feel bad about it because I'm like, why does everyone say it's so beautiful and they love it? And I just was nauseous from morning, noon, and night, like all the time. Wait, when do you turn 40? When are you joining my club over here? It's a fabulous club, by the way, to join.
I'm so excited, but to be 40, here's the irony, and this is where God, they always say, God has plans and he's the one that really makes the plans. Well, because my whole probably since I was like 30 years old, I've been in my brain just being like, I'm gonna throw the biggest 40th birthday party of all time. Like it's gonna be epic. We're gonna be like on an island, on a beach somewhere, fireworks. I mean, just the whole thing. And my friends have known this since about 30 that I was going to throw this epic 40th birthday party. So when I went to the gynecologist or my OB, when I found out I was pregnant, my due date is on my 40th birthday.
Oh my
I was
God. Well,
like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, I was like, what? And so, but I'm delivering early just because I'm having some fibroid complications. So I deliver now 2 weeks prior to my 40th. But yeah, I'll be 40 like in, postpartum style. So yeah.
you'll be 40 with a 2-week old, basically.
Yeah, it's going to be great. But I'm having a birthday party. I told my girlfriends, I was like, I don't want to shower, but I still want my 40th birthday. So we're going to do like a murder mystery party at the house. So I'm going to
Oh,
have
I
my mom
love that. That's
watch
cool.
the baby and just, yeah, I was like, I have to do something. It's like my 40th. So,
Of
but I'm
course.
the more I've gotten closer to 40, just the less craps I've given.
Oh, it's so freeing. I can't even tell you. And you just feel like honestly, I mean, I'm you just like come into your own in a way where you're just like, yes, especially, for housewife situations that I have to go through too. Just like, yep, that's what I said. That's what I mean. And I'm protecting my peace. And that's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to do because I'm going to do me and worry about what I want now and my life and whatever I'm doing. So it's so freeing. And I felt that way, honestly, from like 40, 41. I really felt like I was like, I just don't give a fuck if you agree with me or not, but like this is how we're going to roll. And
Mm-hmm.
it happens like overnight, and I had been waiting all of my 30s to like get to that point where I just cared less about what everyone else thought about me. And it really really does happen in your 40s. And you don't like, I remember, and I'm sure you too remember, like looking at our parents thinking that that was old. I'm like, what? I am thriving. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
I old. What? Like I don't it's just and you having a baby, you're really not going to feel like you're still going to be in the baby years, you know? So it's going to help you feel young actually having a little newborn around.
Oh, I don't know, but it is a blessing. But it's so interesting too because I ran into an ex of mine at somewhere, and I remember because I still know the narrative that like he's going around saying, and before it used to drive me crazy to be like, no, I'm not that person anymore, and no, like I've changed and I've grown and I've healed, and now I'm just like, you can honestly think whatever you want, I don't care,
Right.
like not have that like that hold or that even the power to let them have. I was like, because I'm like, I know my truth, and I've stepped into that, and that's I don't really care what who or what or the other people that the nasty people online. Like I truly don't care what they think.
Good. That's the place to be. So you don't have to be an athlete to need extra hydration throughout the day. Trust me, I know. From Zoom meetings and workouts to long travel days, fun nights out, Liquid IV makes it easy to stay hydrated. It really does help me in so many ways. With 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, plus 8 vitamins and nutrients for everyday wellness, Liquid IV hydrates 2 times faster than water alone, all in one single stick. I love Liquid IV because it's perfect, it's convenient, and I can add it into a glass of water and it makes me feel like I'm getting my hydration back in check. They come in these convenient little packs that you can store in the pantry, pack in your purse, or even take on a long trip where you know there's definitely going to be some wine drinking taking place, which, I mean, come on, obviously, right? So grab your Liquid IV hydration multiplier sugar free in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code Melissa at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using code Melissa at liquidiv.com. What's up, everyone? As you know, the summer sun is great, but it's not until fall that we really realize the toll those sun filled days have taken on our skin. I know I say this every year in the fall, it's time to revamp. That's why I want to tell you guys about Osea, specifically their Ondaria Exfoliate and Glow Duo. This duo features 2 of Osea's best selling products. They're infused with nourishing seaweed and designed to elevate your fall body care routine. I love this duo. The body polish provides the perfect amount of exfoliation without being too harsh on my skin and leaving it all red. Then I apply the body oil and it literally leaves my skin glowing in a whole new light. Save and glow with the Ondaria Exfoliate and Glow Duo. It's the perfect way to try 2 of Osea's best-selling products at an incredible value. And when you get this handy duo together, you'll save 16%. Plus, with my promo code, you'll get an additional 10% off. So here's the deal. Right now, Osea has a specific discount just for our listeners. Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code DISPLAY at oseamalibu.com. Head to oseamalibu.com, use code DISPLAY, and you will get 10% off. I mean, first of all, your fiance, let's talk about him for a second. So handsome, which we would expect, right? But just seems very likable and like very genuine. Talk to me about him for a minute.
Uh, so he's very, well, I'll say this. I always say like, oh, he loves and respects me so much. And I think I had kind of a light bulb moment, I don't know, like a month or so ago where I was like, oh, he respects me and that's the first time I've ever felt respect. It's because I now feel like I know that I deserve it now, right? Like before I didn't think that I deserve respect, or I would let people disrespect me and then they'd still stick around. And then lo and behold, disrespect me. So now it's like, because I know that I deserve respect, like he's an incredible man. He's very old school where, he loves his mama and he loves his parents and he's the way that he like almost every day he'll say to the kids like, guys, your mummy is the most beautiful, beautiful woman on this planet. And we love her. So like, I love her so much. And you're so lucky to have her as her mom. Like he
Oh,
wants my kids too, to see like how a man is supposed to treat a woman. And it's just like, it's so beautiful. And he's the best role model to my kiddos. And just the bonus dad is like we're so blessed to have him in our lives, because he's that solid, steady foundation that feels safe and in a beautiful way.
Trustworthy. And let me be the first to tell you that an old school guy is the best guy. I don't care what anyone says. There is nothing like it. You can't teach a guy to be a family guy. They have it in them or they don't.
Mm-hmm.
They either are or they aren't. And it sounds like you got one over there. So that's a congratulations. How did you guys meet?
He hates the term, but because in his old schoolness, he doesn't, he's like, I didn't slide into your DMs. I was like, well, you technically slid into my DMs. Like, you did. You DM'd me. There's no other way to put it. Us cool kids say you slid into my DMs. So I'm like,
right.
That's what you did. He's like, no. He's like, I found you online, and you looked like a beautiful woman and a great mom, and I reached out politely, and I was like, yes, you did. And you also slid into my DMs.
So. Yes, like it's so much hotter that he slid into your DMs. I love it. Wait, and so then you look, and he's a good-looking guy. And does he live nearby? Where did he live?
He was living in London.
Oh my God, I did not know
Scottish.
this.
Yeah, so he's Scottish, but he was living in London coaching a team there, and I kind of blew him off in the beginning just because at that point in where I was at in dating, I was just honestly happy alone. And so, he had DM'd a few times, and I would DM every once in a while, but I didn't really look into him. I didn't Google him. His page was private. And then I think I was having just like a bored night one night, and I was out on tour in San Diego. And I was like, I gotta see like what's up with this soccer guy. And so then I started Googling, and I was like, he's really cute. I was like, I should probably, I'm like, I'm like, I didn't have the kids Christmas, before Christmas. So I was like, maybe I can go on a little,
Cute
British vacation.
Yeah.
And so he just so happened to be coming to the United States for a week or so. And so he came here to Nashville first, flew in from Tampa, where he was training. And then I met him, and then it was like living my own lifetime Christmas movie. Like, I've done so many of them that I was like, this is like, where are the cameras? I was like, this is a joke. I'm like, this is insane. So then I flew to England for a little holiday romance.
Wait, the queen of Christmas movies gets the Christmas movie in real life. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, they were like Chris screen everything, like in the lobby at the hotel when I walked in. I was just like, this is truly like, I'm like, where were the cameras?
Wow. So then he decided to move here?
Yeah. So after we talked about kind of our crystal ball plan, and he was like, I can come coach in the United States. And I was like, well, obviously I'm not leaving here because my kids are so young, and I wouldn't do that to my ex either. So, he picked up, and he goes back because he has a 16-year-old son. So he'll go see his son, sees him about like once a month. And then, but now we're living together in a new house, and we're building our new family.
Wow. I love it. I love it. So, I mean, I'm sure the kids are super excited too, to like meet the new baby and all of that. Well, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you, honestly, with all of that, because you have been through so much. And we're going to talk about your whole new incredible book that you have out and how you get really candid and real in it. But before you do, I have to ask you about, first of all, you had a huge guest on Wind Down on your how does one get Matthew McConaughey on their podcast? Please help a girl out. Like, what's happening here?
No, seriously. My publicist, and I even said this on Wind Down that day. I was like, I don't know how she's my publicist. I must be like, I pay her, but I feel like her pro bono client. Like, she just takes me as like a charity, because I'm like, she's got Jada Pinkett and Smith, and she's got Matthew, and she's got like everybody that's an A-list. So I'm like, Nicole, why do you do this? You know what I mean? Like, am I like your pity client? Like, what? And so I've been there for so long that anything when it comes to like a book or something, she'll hop on board. But Matthew is one of her clients. And so, she texted me and she's like, do you want Matthew on the podcast? And I'm like, well, duh, it's Matthew.
Hello.
So yeah, so she got that to happen. And he's what I love about him is obviously he has his new kids book out, but he had the other book where I love it when someone like his stature opens up and is authentic, and he shows a vulnerable side of him, and he's so well spoken, and it's just he's a really good guy.
You can read that off of him just if he's on a red carpet. You're just like, there's just a flag waving over his head, like genuine good guy. And like he always plays that role too, because it's just, I feel like he gets that role a lot. But were you nervous? Like, how do you prep your questions for Matthew McConaughey?
I mean, I was nervous for sure because we've had some great guests on, like you guys, and your husband came on Wind Down, we've had some amazing.
All right, but we're talking about Matthew McConaughey. Stop. I would be like, wait, what? I wouldn't know how to conduct that.
But for me, I don't go into my interviews with a list of questions. I have like maybe 3 bullet points. And then from there, I just go, because you never know where the conversation is going to take you. So I don't want to be, and I don't like the person that's just like question. Like I like the conversation,
Right.
And so with him, it was so easy to have a conversation because he'd bring up something about forgiveness, and I'd be like, oh yeah, what are your what are your, things, like, what do you believe about forgiveness? And so, it's just, I love people that can be open like that and that are willing to have conversations. And he was a great guest to have.
I could imagine. That's awesome. Raise your hand if this sounds like you. You embrace the latest diet craze that your best friend swears by, whether it's eating no carbs or all the carbs or only carbs that grow on trees. You listen to all these health obsessed folks, but when's the last time that you actually found a good doctor? A doctor who actually gets you, listens to you, and makes you feel super comfortable. If you have to think about it, it's time to head to ZocDoc. There are thousands of top-rated doctors on ZocDoc. They're all listed with verified patient reviews, so you can find and book a doctor who not only has years of experience and an actual medical degree, but also just gets you. ZocDoc is a free app where you can find amazing doctors and book appointments right online. We're talking about booking appointments with thousands of top-rated patient-reviewed doctors and specialists. You can filter specifically for ones who take your insurance and are located near you and treat almost any condition you're searching for. I know so many people that use ZocDoc because it's just convenient and trusted, and you should too. Go to ZocDoc.com/Melissa and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/Melissa. ZocDoc.com/Melissa. Hey guys, my favorite season, fall, is here, and we all know what that means. The holidays are closer and things are busier than ever. In fall, it's easy to let fitness slide down the priority list. But don't let that happen. Mix it up with the Peloton app's enormous range of classes like meditation, boxing, Pilates, and so much more. Take your workouts from can't face to can't wait. Whether you have 5 minutes or 25, whether you're going on a jog or strength training at the gym, the Peloton app has it all. The Peloton app is everything that's so great about Peloton right at your fingertips. So now your park, your home, or even your gym can be, well, your gym. Join now for your first 30 days free. Anyone, anywhere can get moving with Peloton. Try the Peloton app today for free for 30 days. New paid memberships only, starting at $12.99 a month after trial, unless canceled. Terms apply. Talk to me about the next chapter a little bit. I want to hear about this book. I know that you were extremely real about how you overcame a lot of pain from the past, and that this is about like finding hope and embracing love for yourself. And how did you get to a point that you felt like you could even write about something so deep in something like this? Because I know that you publicly went through a lot, and people know your story, Jana. They know your story. And there's probably so many women out there that felt the same way and have been cheated on or whatever it may be. And so what got you to say, like, I'm going to write this book right now and I want to just talk about hope?
So we actually so my ex and I wrote a book called The Good Fight, which was about, surviving infidelity in a marriage. And
I remember
the book did good. And we ended up getting a second book deal, and it was about how to trust your partner. And during that process of starting that book is when I found out about more stuff, which then led to my now divorce from my ex-husband. And the book deal went away. But I had called my editor and I said, is there ever a world where I could write a book? And I wasn't the strong writer. My ex was the one that wrote primarily The Good Fight. And, I wrote my pieces, but he was a very good writer. But for me, there's so many, yes, people know my story, but there's so many pieces of my story that I haven't shared that make sense of, okay, this is maybe why I've done X, Y, and Z, or this equals this. And I didn't really get to share that in the first book. And I wanted to, this, like, there's always people writing stories about you in your life. And for me, I was like, I would love to be able to just be like, if you ever did want to get to know my story, this is from my mouth, not from Us Weekly or from any other publication. Like, this is my truth. This is what I've learned. This is why, I might have done X, Y, and Z, no excuses, but, it's just, it at least for me is a book where I can go, okay, I've learned a lot of stuff. I'm still learning. That's the greatest thing about life, is that we're constantly learning lessons and failing. And every failure that I've ever had has come from, the results of a great lesson. And with this divorce, I knew that was going to be the same thing, where I had a choice to go, okay, I can forever blame my ex-husband for the demise of my family and the destruction of our life together. Or I can go, okay, I'm going to look in the mirror and go, where could I be better? Where did I fall short? What can I do better in the future? What did I learn from all of this? And it was truly a book of just exploring all the pieces of me that had been broken even when I was married, that absolutely played a part in our marriage. Now, there was no, obviously no excuse for his cheating and all that stuff, but I still was broken in that marriage long before he ever cheated. I had not healed certain pieces of me from a long time ago. And I realized that once I got divorced and dated pretty much the same man thereafter, going, oh, I just, again, am walking into another relationship with the same type of man who isn't honest with me. And now I'm staying with a man that isn't honest. Like, what is wrong with me? Like, this is now, it's like, I have to do like just a deep dive and start taking accountability for my actions and what I'm like, the road that I keep going down, the same pattern. And so I talked to my editor and I was like, I really just want this to be an honest book about my life and the journey post-divorce, a year post-divorce, and kind of like a diary. And so I just started writing things down, and she just keep sending more stuff. And then from there, that's when we decided, okay, we were going to truly take it like a month to month from the day I signed to the year after. And, it's one of those books where anyone that goes through a divorce, you feel so unworthy, so unloved, that you're never going to find love again. You're doomed for the rest of your life. Like, it's just like you have all these feelings, and everyone goes through it. And at least that's what I make up that people do. And for me, I wanted to be able to go, okay, hey, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Now, it may not be. And I made sure that this book, because my editor was like, well, wait until you find love again. I'm like, no, I'm like, that's the whole point. Like, I was like, I have to write this book not in a relationship, because my whole problem is that Jana equals happy when I'm in a relationship. That's
Right.
the problem. So I was like, I have to break that cycle. Like, I have to learn how to love myself. I need to figure out like why I'm still repeating these patterns. And so I did some really hard work in that year, and had some missteps along the way that I write about, and had to, go back to years prior of things that I went through. And I don't talk about my domestic abuse experience a lot because I still hold a lot of um, shame in that piece. And, but I talk about that in the book. And, I really hope that people can read it and go, okay, you can still go through an immense amount of pain and come out on the other side and still choose to love yourself. And here's how.
I mean, it must have been so therapeutic, honestly, like writing this all out and just having to text someone or write someone like things here and there. Like you think something up and you're like, wait, this. And like, it's therapeutic to like just think of something in the middle of the night, wake up and be like, you know what, this happened to me. And I think it affected me this way. And it's kind of like, it's almost like releasing everything and just letting it go. I remember that when I wrote my book, I just would think of things in the middle of the night and be like, wait, I forgot about this. And especially childhood things. And you talk about your childhood, right? In this
Yeah, I
book.
do. Yeah, it's, I grew up in that kind of household where my dad cheated on my mom and, there was a lot of anger. And so I grew up in a very unsafe, like as a child, as a, 4 to 8 year old child, I felt very unsafe. And so, but it's interesting, the relationships that I've chose since then were very unsafe, but that's almost where I felt the most safe. So chaos was something that made me feel comfortable. And that's, something that I've had to even work on in this new relationship when I was like, I don't know how to deal with comfortability and safety and not wondering when the next shoe is going to fall. And so it took me, we've almost been dating a year now, but it took me at least 6 months to be like settled in the feeling that I'm like, okay, wait, no, I do deserve this calm place. And this, like, this is normal. This is what I should have had for years,
Right.
but it doesn't feel natural. So
That's a big problem for a lot of people who grew up in chaos. And sorry, my voice, in chaos. And also just who've had like bad relationships, bad boyfriends. It's really hard when it's peaceful to know that, like, no, actually, this is the normal. This is how it's supposed to be, because you're almost like looking over your shoulder saying like, what's wrong here? Is this exciting? Do I like this? Is it? And it's hard to accept that. No, that's how it is. And that's the peace and that's the calmness. And I have a ton of friends who have been through things very similar to you. And, they do find a great guy and it takes them a minute to realize like, this is normal. This is the right way, that to understand like that's happiness, and to be at peace with that and calm with that and realize that there's trust there, because when there's trust, there's everything, right? I mean, I feel like with this guy, I can just tell already you have complete trust in him. You're not stressed. You're not looking, you're not looking over your shoulder behind your back.
I don't have to like, I'm like, go have fun or just like, yeah, and when he says that I have nothing to worry about and he says that he loves me, I said it the other day and I was like, I believe you. Like for the first time, I actually believe you.
And
And I trust that.
that's a beautiful thing right there. Like the peace of knowing that alone, and just for yourself and for your kids. Because when you're stressed out and it trickles right down to the kids. So it's like the sanity of knowing like this is where I'm at is amazing for you. A little extra money helps everyone live their best lives, and Chime's online checking account is here to help you live yours. With Chime's online checking account, you can enjoy lots of perks like fee-free overdrafts up to $200. You can even get paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit. No more annoying overdraft fees, and there is no impact on your credit score to apply. That's right. Chime has no monthly minimum balance or overdraft fees. And with Chime, you have access to over 60,000 fee-free ATMs. That's more than the top 3 national banks combined. And with their convenient app, you can easily find an ATM near you. Start building your credit up. Open a Chime checking account with at least $200 qualifying direct deposit to get started. Get started at chime.com/Melissa. That's chime.com/Melissa. The Chime Credit Builder Visa Credit Card is issued by Stride Bank NA, member FDIC. Chime checking account and $200 qualifying direct deposit is required to apply. Out of network ATM withdrawal fees may apply. On-time payment history may have a positive impact on your credit score. Late payment may negatively impact your credit score. Results may vary. On Display with Melissa Gorga is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Hey guys, whether you love true crime, comedy, celebrity interviews, news, or even motivational speakers, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue, right? And guess what? Now you can call the shots on your auto insurance too. Enter the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. The Name Your Price tool puts you in charge of your auto insurance by working just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you a variety of coverages that fit within your budget, giving you options. Now, that's something you're going to want to press play on. It's easy to start a quote, and you'll be able to choose the best option for you fast. It's just one of the many ways you can save with Progressive Insurance. Quote today at progressive.com to try the Name Your Price tool for yourself and join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. You know, you do talk about something else I love in the book, which is celebrating your victories. And I feel like this pertains to a lot of women also. And I really think there's so much good advice, you know, just about this in there. So can you talk to me about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think one of the hardest things to do is, like I said, to embrace the good things too. So like they're, yes, in the middle of a destruction, in the middle of a divorce, like there are still the victories. There are still goodness that comes from it. You know, my kids being one of them, like they're the greatest thing that I ever got from my divorce. And they're, you know, the loves of my life. And then everything too in my life is, yeah, I've had some business ventures that didn't go well and I might feel embarrassed, but there's also, I think there's so many lessons and growth and in the failure of things. And then the victories, it's like to have the people and to also celebrate like how far you've come too. And that's something that I don't think we do. I think we're so hard on ourselves, or we beat ourselves up. Like we're the worst critics to ourselves. Like I've said the meanest things about myself to me. And I'm like, when I start talking about, but I would never say that to a friend. So for me, it was like, I had to kind of change my narrative and go, okay, how would I speak encouragement to a friend? And that's kind of been my motto to myself, to go, I wouldn't say that to my girlfriend. So why am I saying it to me? Why am I beating it myself? Like, what is the reason for that?
Right. It's like clap for yourself as well. I also say, like a lot of women, my personal thing is like mom guilt. I feel like sometimes when I have victories and I'm working hard and there's a lot of good going on for me, I have to learn to celebrate it instead of feel guilty about it, or like feel like I'm working too much or going back and forth. And I'm sure you go through that too, having two kids and one on the way,
Yeah.
because you're a working mom too and you're out there doing your thing.
Yeah, I'm willing, and I have to support my kids. I pay child support for my kids. So I'm like, everything is on my shoulders. So I not only feel the weight of having to financially support and work, but also I want my kids to know, like, I want them to see that I work hard, and this is what happens when you do work hard. Like you get to live in a beautiful home, and you know, mom might have to be away for a little bit at certain times, but to have a little independence, I think is a good thing for kids to see, and also to have, you know, with me as well. So, and I'm going to have to refine that balance now, being, you know, with a newborn. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do yet. But my friend asked me the other day, she's like, so what are you going to do? And I was like, I don't know, but I need to figure it out, because I know that I can't just, like, I have to also work and do my stuff, because that's what drives me and that's what motivates me to be the best version of myself for everybody.
Are you going to stay home for a little bit with the baby and then just kind of figure it out as it goes?
I don't know. I mean, like, yes, because the industry shut down. Like, it'll be such a good time, you know.
Right.
I'm sure the strike will be over soon, but I hope so, at least for everybody involved. But you know, November and December will be just kind of shut down at time, anyways. So I'll take those few months, and then in the new year, I'm really going to figure out, because I'm going to need to. I live in a very like scarcity mindset with money. So I'm like, I'm going to need to grind and work really hard to provide for everybody.
Of course. You're just like, you remind me like so much of just a lot of like my girlfriend. I keep saying that every time I talk to you, I just feel like you're one of us. You're just like a hardworking mom. That's why people relate to you. That's why people love you so much. You're just very down to earth. You're always grinding, but you're an amazing mom. You talk to us about like life and like real stuff that goes on in relationships. And I just think it's so endearing. What's next for you? Are you looking, obviously with the acting world, it's kind of, what the whole industry is going through, what they're going through, but is there anything else you're working on right now besides the book and becoming a new mom?
Well, yeah, I can't wait for the strike to be over again for people that everyone wants to get back to work. But I have something that will be able to talk about post that. And then, yeah, for me, I'm really going into next year, just laser focused on. A lot of times I've been the kind of person like, I want to do this. 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 And I think sometimes, though I've always said that's a good thing and I don't want to just be put in like one place, I feel like I've learned that I need to like really laser it down to like 3 things and just really hustle to make those 3 things happen. And then from there, all the other stuff, if it wants to come, great. But I've got my my eye on like 3 main targets that I just want to hammer next year to make it happen.
All right. Well, keep your eye on the prize because you got to keep going. Congratulations on life right now. And I honestly mean that. I mean, the baby, everything that's going on, your new fiance. Do we have a marriage date? Do we have a wedding date?
We actually just picked it last week. So
all right. Well, we're not going to announce it to the world, but I'm very, very happy for you.
Yeah, it's next year. We're so pumped. I love him to death, and I cannot wait to walk down the aisle to him.
Oh, my God. I love that. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. All my listeners, you got to listen to the Wind Down podcast with Jana Kramer. And your book comes out October 24th, right? So we all need to grab a copy of that too. We can pre-order.
Yep, you can pre-order. And then I'm on Instagram, Kramer Girl. So yeah, but thank you for listening. Thank you for having me. And please come visit me in Nashville.
I'm coming. I was supposed to see you the last time I was there and it didn't work out.
I know.
We had like Joe's comedy show or something, but the next time we're there, I'm coming to see you.
Perfect.
All right, honey. Good talking to you. Thank you so much.
Love you. I appreciate you.
I appreciate it.
Bye, honey.
Bye. Hey guys, I want to tell you about a quick podcast study here. As you probably know, we all do our very best to align the right sponsors to the right podcast. It's a lot of work behind the scenes, and all of us are incredibly grateful for your support. We're currently running a quick survey at podcaststudy.net, and we're giving the first 150 people a $10 digital Amazon gift card as an incentive for you guys to go and complete this survey. The information we get from you about our sponsors is very important to the show, and we can't thank you enough for taking a few minutes to help us out. Upon completion of the survey, you'll be asked to include your email address, and we'll send the first 150 people a $10 gift card from Amazon. Go to podcaststudy.net, and thank you so much again for helping our show and our sponsors.
Dive into true crime on Pluto TV. Unravel the mysteries with Forensic Files and 48 Hours. Investigate crimes with Dateline 24/7 and Unsolved Mysteries. With thousands of free crime movies and TV shows, Pluto TV is the true home of crime. Download the Pluto TV app on all your favorite devices and start streaming true crime on live channels and on demand. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.